Now, so um, now welcome guys to today's session. So briefly, I want to do a brief introduction. I guess it's 2 minutes, but I just want to start it at that point. It's already 10 minutes down the line, so almost close to 10 minutes down the line. So I want to start it from that point. So welcome guys. Sorry for that. There's some cold around here, so I was making myself comfortable. Now, welcome to CAT Club session. Today's session. This today's session is brought to you by CAT Club and DACMMU. That is CAT Club and DACMMU web development team. So yes, CAT Club is a registered club in multimedia and was started by students and it's run by students. Actually, I'm a student. So as a club, we have goals and visions. So you can just, if you see my screen, we just have simple goals like, we go, our aim as a club, we are to train and nurture talents because we know there are talents that are just within us. So our aim is to train and nurture them. So basically, we do this through these sessions that we have workshops. Through we have mentoring sessions, and we also have mentors to different capacities. So basically, that's one of our goals. Then another goal is to actually we aim at giving back to the community. But the only way we only do this by using technology to solve the community problems around us. Community basically can be like multimedia is a community, so it's a university is a community. So when we solve a problem that exists there using technology, that's one of our goal, and that's like some of the aims that we have at the end of doing all these. We can achieve. We are going to achieve them. Then we as a club, we have a vision. So our vision is to reach students in all the universities in Kenya. Actually, yes, not limited to Multimedia University, but we want to reach all the universities in Kenya and mentor, train. We mentor them, we train them, and we just like train them and encourage them to go as far as their dreams, talents, and resilience can take them. Yeah, so basically that is us. Then as a club, we have some structure. So we have a structure of, because for you to see anything going on in a community, you expect to have some structure, all things like some leadership in the club. Yeah, actually as a club, we have a leadership. So we have a chairperson. As it's everybody's a club leader actually, but these are just there to ensure that things run smoothly. So like for instance, chairperson, actually talking, I'm the club chairperson. So yeah, I'm Polasta Okot. We also have vice chairperson, so I think he's around. Steve, are you around? Kindly unmute your mic and say hi.
Hi. Okay, hi everyone. Okay, Stephen Kamal. Okay, I think that's all.
Okay, I don't know if I was the only person having issue with your audio, but thank you for that brief introduction. Then I have club treasurer, and she's here. So as a club, we also have a treasurer because at times there are we deal with cash actually. Because sometimes you have to run. Okay, we run activities. We have a couple of activities that are going on. So in most cases, we would need cash to fund our activities and whatever. So I will invite our club treasurer to introduce herself briefly. So hi Brenda, kindly.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for attending.
Yes, introduce yourself.
Oh, my name is Brenda Mwangi. I'm the club treasurer.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Brenda. So after that, then we have organizing secretary. So I think organizing secretary is around. Organizing secretary is around. Hello, Vincent.
Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
can you
hello. Okay, yeah. So my name is Vincent Kanyano. I'm the organizing secretary. Yeah, so I think that's all. Welcome all and thank you for attending this particular session.
thank you. And we have webmaster and the webmaster lead and the co-lead is around. So webmaster, it's your turn. Okay. Hello, Dan.
Hello, everybody.
Yes.
Oh, this is Dan
Kindly do a
Kipchirchir,
brief introduction, but I
webmaster.
guess you should mention. Yes.
Pardon?
Continue, please. Maybe you
Oh,
start over.
I think I'm done. My name is Dan Kipchirchir, and I'm the webmaster. Feel at home.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Next is our club secretary. I don't know if she's around. I doubt if she's around here. I can't see her here, so she's not around. Her name is Grace. She's in our first year taking software engineering, I guess. And we have, so after that we have leads. So these leads are the reason why you see these sessions weekly. They are the people behind these things going on actually. So there's nobody, if not them, then we could not be having this or be able to do this. So I will start with data science lead. So it happens that our data science lead is also our vice chairperson. So you just say hi once more.
Hi, okay, nimesikia sauti yangu inatoka kama nacheza. Okay, I hope you
So then we also have Android lead. No, not Android, but mobile development lead and co-leads. But I think I can only see the lead. Kindly unmute yourself and introduce yourself. Unmute and introduce yourself.
Oh, hi. Good evening. I'm Oyamo Brian. Probably you've seen me in Android sessions. Probably you've seen me in Android sessions.
Hello, Oyamo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we are hearing you. Please start over.
Oh, I'm Oyamo Brian. I was saying you've probably seen me in Android sessions, or you're yet to see me in future Android sessions. Hoping to see you in the.
Having issues with your, I don't know if you're breaking, but it's okay. Thank you, Oyamo, for the introduction. So after that, we have web development team. Today's event is for the web development team. So today's event is brought to us by the web development team, and our lead is around. So I want to invite our lead to introduce himself. Hello, Paminas. Kindly unmute and introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I am Paminas Muronge, computer science student, year 3. Welcome to the session.
So, thank you so much, Paminas. So Paminas is the one is the lead for web. Actually, it's the reason why we're having this today. Then again, but just before then, we have a cybersecurity lead. I guess he's not around, but I think he'll be around tomorrow. Today is not around. He's called Pinto, Humphreys Pinto. He's currently is in his final year. He's a 4th-year student taking software engineering at Matilda University. Yes. Then moving to the next screen, this in our club we have club patron. So our club patron is teacher Kelvin Kariuki. He's our club patron. Yes, so he's not around. Maybe next time, one of these fine days, he'll be around. Then our club is supported. So if it's not for him, then we can't be where we are actually. This it's called the first wheel of the club actually. So we have our club executive director. No, club non-executive director. So he's around. I want to invite him to introduce himself. Yes, kindly unmute and introduce yourself.
So my name is very hard that you cannot even mention.
No, okay. Sawa, your name is non-executive director. You are Victor Omondi.
Hi guys, my name is Victor Omondi, the former vice chairman and also the former DSC lead. I'm a student in Multimedia University, and I'm also working as a data scientist. Thank you.
Then yes, that's all for that. Then we also have social pages, so you can follow us on Twitter. So to follow us on Twitter, you can follow us on Twitter. So okay, just look CIT Club MMU. Or you can also mention us in your tweet. That is CIT Club MMU. There, I'm just shown there. So I will share this PowerPoint. I think it's open. It's an open to. It's a public. It's public. So or you can get access to that link. Actually, this is a link. Let me see if I'll. No, I'll do that later. Yes, I will share that. So you can follow us on Twitter. Can also mention us in your tweet. Then yes, what about joining CIT Club? So CIT Club is open to all, and all are welcome to join. So yes, to join us, we do register. Currently, we're still just doing. Everybody's welcome. You don't have to pay any fee to register CIT Club now. Until we get back to normalcy. So actually, in the new normal, the joining fee is free. So if you want to join CIT Club, yes, it's free. So this form here, I will share. So this is a form. I will share this form, the register form here. I will share the register form here for people that wants to register. So you will just join via that form. That is later. Okay, then then what else? So actually, as a club, we have a number of projects that are going on. We are a community that is committed to solving community problems using technology. So we also have projects going on. So to see our projects or to contribute or add on our project, so you can get yeah, you can go to GitHub and get our projects there. You can fork you can fork the one that is interesting for you, or you can also ask to be a collaborator. You can also suggest a feature there. You will see a number of repositories in that organization. So you can start a discussion by creating a discussion there. I think you have a discussion menu. You can make a lot of suggestions there, or create an issue. Yes, create an issue that will suggest a feature, because I know there's a current project that is going on. It's open to all, so you can also collaborate and work with us on our projects. So to collaborate, we do normally ask members to fill up a form to know that who is working on who, and besides that, we can also assign various features using okay, on Git. After creating an issue, so we can also assign various features that are suggested to different individuals. So you can either, okay, it's advisable if we have this form. Then if you go to Git, we will also allocate you a feature that you've suggested or that you feel like you're comfortable doing. Yes. Then again, that's for projects. Moving to the next screen, then we have attendance. Actually, it's advisable that we record our attendance. So because these are club registered by the university, at least sometimes the university have to like get an evidence that we are having things going on. Like, yes, this attendance register is it's so important to us. It helps us to plan for our future events. Then it also helps us prove to the universities that we are committed, and our activities are like, yes, we are active and our activities are on. Yes, we are committed and our activities are on. Then next is the feedback screen. So actually, it's advisable that after our events, or when we wrap up our events, we do request the attendees to leave a feedback, so that we know where to improve on in our future events or in our next workshops. Because these things are only made possible when we know when we get the feedback from you, our attendants or our users. So it's advisable. So I think somebody, Steve or Duncan, or let me just do it. You need to share. So let me first share this. Let me first share the attendance. So let me first share the attendance. Okay. So you can help us. record attendance here. Yes, then for feedback, actually it's advisable that we get feedback and use the feedback to make our next or our future events smooth and more friendly. Yes, that's all, I think. Then now I remember also you can get and fork projects on Git, okay, or collaborate on our projects. I think it's here now. This for registered, that I'll share later. So let me just share this. Let me share this. Okay. My machine is slow in a way. It's okay. So let me just share this. So I will get it here. To get, what else? So you can also it will be advisable you have this form sign field so that we know who is working on what and who should team up with who actually. Yeah, so it helps us to team up members. We can use it to team up members that are working on a similar feature. Okay, now brief enough of that introduction. I think it's over. Yeah, it's done. So yes, that's all for that introduction. So we're going to switch to now the reason why we are here today. Okay. So let me just go to. Why are you loading that long? Okay. So I will create a project that you're going to work on today. So today we are to touch on JavaScript, brief of it. So let me just go here quickly and demonstrate. I hope I'm clear. Somebody, if you're not able to get me well, kindly complain. You can also type it. Okay. You can also raise it using the chat section. But you are not unmute. But no, it's not in order to unmute. Actually, use the chat section. Just complain. Somebody will show me or will notify me on the same. In case I will fail to see it. Dan, are you? Okay, thank you. Now
I'm here.
I will do that. So let me just create some. So actually today, okay. So I want to open this. So let me open that so that I will be using my text editor. I'll be using Visual Studio Code. So you can also follow along. You can also follow along so that we move together and learn together. I hope I hope I won't be fast, but considering time, I don't know. But at least we should go in. Okay, I won't be fast, but I bet we learn. So let me open my text editor. Then okay, I think I don't know whether to launch it in which server. I don't have a live server and I hate refreshing. I don't know whether to launch it in a backend server. I don't know. Will you allow me permission to do that? Hello, somebody, will you have a problem when I launch it on a backend server? I will be doing nothing in the backend server actually. No.
It's okay.
let me just leave alone that actually it might be somehow somebody will query like what's going on. So yes, to start on, I just want to start on explaining some few things in JS before I do a demo. So let me just create this file and call it index.js. uh-huh. So yes, introduction actually. So JavaScript. So I don't know how to describe a JavaScript for you, but I know JavaScript is a powerful scripting language actually. So JavaScript is used in both. By the way, a study shows that up to 70% of senior software engineers use JavaScript in their day-to-day duties. Like they can't escape JavaScript. JavaScript currently is found anywhere on embedded devices, web. Where will you miss IoT devices? Like where will you miss JavaScript? I think it's just all over. It's something that you can't miss to learn. It's a trending technology. Besides Python, I think this one of the or the trending language actually, because it's as powerful. I guess it's in the near future. Okay, it's powerful, but there's some features that some other people haven't identified better. So in the near future, it will be the trend because it's so easy to work with and so light. So actually, it's a very nice technology to learn, and it is interesting. So yes, that's all I can say. JavaScript is a dynamic language. So JavaScript is a dynamic language. So it's a dynamic language to mean that what this means basically is that in JavaScript, the type of a variable is determined during runtime. Variable type is determined during runtime. I think my editor, that thing is too small. Somebody can see, right? Steve, Vic, ama utakuwa unaniambia any complaint that is around ndo nijue.
Yeah,
Complaints ziko kwa nini, kwa chat.
Siwezi ona and I'm presenting.
Actually, you can present only the window that you're presenting, so that you can go back and check.
That will be wasting time. But anyway, somebody, you can now see, right?
Yeah, it is seen.
Yeah, sure. Let me just do away with that. I think that's better. Let me also improve it kidogo. It's getting better, I guess. Hey, that is too much. Okay. Yeah. So it is a dynamic language, which means that the variable type is known during runtime. So when I talk of a variable, so let me just say I think I've been doing this. It's just the same thing as we did in Python, but let me just do it again. When we talk of variable, so this variable, I would call it as a placeholder. So this just holds some content for me that I can come use in future. So when I want to store something, I don't have to mind what type of a thing I want to store. You know, it only determined during runtime. Like for instance, let me just mention this as we're moving along. Let me just do this practically. But now, let me just say I want to store a name and I want to store Jmo carries name. So let me just say, hey, I have a name and this name, no, actually, let me not use name. Let me just call it str name. Let me call it name. Hey, this name is called, I want this name to be called, okay, I want this name to be, I'm explaining what I've used, but now I want this name to store a string called Jmo carries. So this thing called Jmo carries. So when I want to refer to that name anywhere, I I don't have to be typing that string anymore. Like what I have to remember is the reference or the name that I gave to refer to that string that I stored inside it. So when I want to say like, yes, can you please bring me that name back that I stored? So I'll just say str, then I say name. Yes, so when I run this, I know you'll ask how, but I'm sorry. So let me just do that. So I think that is okay. Somebody can see. So yeah, it's up to that point. Yes. So you see, I'm just referring to that thing and like, yes, I get it. I don't have to remember the name that I stored. You know, it's not my big deal. Then this name, I didn't give it anything like a string to give it a type. Like say yes, I want to know. I want to know like, hey, this is a string. You see, I think this is a string. So I didn't say like, hey, this is what I want to see is a string. No, I didn't do that because JavaScript is a dynamic language. You have to tell it, hey, what I want to store is a string. So you have to do whatever you are doing. No, actually, that's not happening here. Then again, I can also store a number and say, hey, let me just call it my number. So my number here, I will store a value like that. So that value, then when I want to refer to that, I will just say, please kindly, may you bring back my number? So yes, my number. So when I run this code, I will get both. You notice that I'm using debug console to run my code because I don't have live server actually. Okay. It's taking long. My machine sometimes it's terribly slow. Let me rerun. It's taking long. Hey. Okay, so you see, I'm getting an output, but let me have them in different lines. So I want to have them in different lines. This thing is want to have them in different lines. So that's all I'll do. To have them in different. Not really. So to do this, I want to do some things here that I'm going to explain. So I beg you won't mind. So I want to have, that is, I want to highlight that and have that and have that. So once I have that, I will come here and say, hey, what I want to do is give me that now. So I want that. And I also want this. Okay, I also want that. Aha. So I'm explaining actually what I've done. Let me just run the code. Then I'll explain what I've done. It's very simple. And yes, simple. So I want them to be in a separate line. So I will just come and say, hey, this keyboard. So I'll just come and say that. Kindly do me that. So that's now I have them on a different line. So actually what I'm doing, let me just explain. So in the first line, I had a variable called string. Okay, I had a variable called string name. So that's a placeholder of my name of JMO Caris. Then again, I had a variable called the number. So you will notice that I used, you see what I used here. Let me just highlight. So let me just have it here in comments. So we have this single quotation. Then again, we have double quotation. Then the next thing, what I'm using is called literals. So backtick, in English we call it backtick, but for, okay, in JavaScript we call it literal. So actually, easier with literals because even if your line of statement is spanning to more than one line, it won't be giving you error. Like you won't be seeing some your ESLint highlighting for you some error there. It is like okay, so you can use it when you it's the use advice, but it's not only limited to that. You can use it anywhere. Actually, to me, it's easier to use than this double and the single quotation. So most of scenarios, you'll see me using what is called literals. So this literal is new in year 6. It was introduced in year 6, I guess. Yeah, year 6. It's called ECMAScript 6. Yes, so that's when it was introduced. Then now that's what I'm using here. So you'll notice that when I'm storing a string, I will have to put that string in between the backticks, or if I was using double quotation, I will put that string inside the double quotes, or I will have it inside the single quotes. So that's storing a string. Then for number, you realize that I didn't use it. So number is a number. You don't have to, unless you're storing a date or a phone number that will refer to as a string. So number, like actually, these are number. So okay, I don't want to do that. I wanted us to look for the type, but okay, let me not do it. That's deep for now. But then I have these are variable. Let me just let me add another string and call it str name2 and give it a value of really. Let me give it a value of Brenda. Let me give it a value of Brenda Mwangi. So I can just come here. You'll see that I'm also using literals. So the backticks, I'm using the backticks. Hey, somebody's not accepting. Vic, Dan Welala. So I'm using the backticks to in my console. So when I'm using the backticks, so this is the syntax. So I can call the string, the variables that I declared there. I just come and use like, hey, I call that string. So this is a way of calling those strings, the variables actually. I don't know how to I don't know how to explain this further, but it's that easy. It's just like making sure that that string, everything is inside the backticks, the literals. Then if you want to call a string that you defined, because in yes, in JavaScript, okay, there's something called, let me just, before I go further, this is something called lexical. Okay, no, I don't want to start explaining environments, but this what is called hoisting and TDD. So yeah, okay, so hoisting, by the hoisting works better for functions. So hoisting means I can, okay, so hoisting means how will I put it? It means that the value, okay, let me just say like a value is moved at the top, like everything is moved at the top. All the values are moved at the top, at the top. Okay, yeah, things, okay, hoisting means just like when I have a function, I can use a function here at the top and define it below, define it at the end of my file. But I won't have any problem running my code because hosting applies very like it applies in for function. It's very nice for using. It's very nice. Okay, it makes it make it easier to use functions like the declaration of that function will be brought to the top. Hosting basically means bringing it to the top or taking to the top. So that declaration will be taken to the top. Then the code that now implemented that function, okay, the code that now called or worked or called on that function will run after its declaration. So during runtime, that function declaration is taken to the top. It's taken at the top. Basically, that's what hoisting means. But you'll find that when hoisting for variables is not that friendly, it doesn't work. Actually, when you hoist a variable, like you use a variable before defining it, you'll have issues like when you try to print that value. Let me just try that. Let me just try that and see, like I have a variable. Let me just yeah, it's here. So let me check this variable called string this Brenda here and define it here. So like I'm using this really Okay, I'm defining it below after calling it. Like I'm defining it down here, but I've called it before defining it. So let me just call it. Let me call it in another line. So I want all the printing to be done in new lines. So I want that to be in a new line. So I want it to be is I want to call, how did I call that name? It's str name2. So I want you to check on my code and look at the output. Then you'll understand why hoisting. I will explain, okay, and understand that hoisting is not friendly or favorable for variables. The value that you expect is undefined because we are trying to access that value of variable before defining it. It will really work better for functions. I can use I can call a function before declaring it, but it's not very friendly when working with variables. Now when I run it, this is what we will have. You will see something like so it's telling me num2 is undefined. Actually, I'm using ESLint. So you'll see this one, name2 is not, it tells me it's not defined. So my ESLint actually won't even, okay. My debug console, it's already saying it's an error. But in normal cases, if it won't show you an error, but it will return that value as undefined, actually. That's the normal cases. Previously, yeah, it's yeah, so previous in the previous versions, yeah. So that is that. Then now I want to talk of a few. Hey, are you going off now? I want to talk about a few things. So what was I talking about? So I was talking, okay, now that's just before I go further. Then there's one thing I'm talking about this, then it is what I want to attach to them. Now, this is what I want to attach to them. Then now I have this. So I've explained what hoisting is. It's just like moving things to the top. All the declarations are moved to the top. It's called like moving declarations to the top. Like for functions, it works better. For variables, it will bring issues like yes, but I just want to change this output. This how will change it. Just in a few, we'll be changing this display. You'll not be seeing this error yet. You'll be seeing something different just in a few minutes time. Then TDD in full, this means temporary dead zone actually. So temporary dead zone. Hey, TDZ, not TDD. Temporary dead zone. So basically, it means that it's dead. Like before declaring a variable, you can't use it. At that point, it's dead. It's not there. So if so these when I've talked about it, then there are things that now I have to touch on, which are ways of declaring variables in JavaScript. Basically, you can do what I've done. Yeah, for Python, I know Python guys are asking kwani kwaje, but now we have also ways of the best ways of declaring variables in Python. So we can use var, let, and const. Now this is what I'm to explain next actually. To just do that. But now for var, when declaring variables using var, for instance, I will come here now before str, I will say let that be. I will say like have something of that sort. Then this next two, I say var. The next again, I have that var. Then if I run my code, I want us now to check on the output. We will see what's going on. So let me run my code. So you see now our output has changed actually. So it depends what I was doing before. So you see that now what I have when I refer to when I'm trying to reference to the variable called string name2, I'm getting an output as undefined. I think you people are able to notice that this is different from the output that we had previously. Previously, actually, I was just declaring variables without using some keywords. So basically, we have keywords of okay, we have keywords that are used to declare variables in JavaScript. One is var, let, or const. But declaring them like this, it's also allowed, but it's not okay. I think your code cannot be consumed for production. It's not suitable for production. Like it's not accepted. Let's just be honest, because even if my I was just wondering my ESLint, I mean lint was not highlighting that as an error. But anyway, I just wanted to demonstrate something. Then now we are not we have ways of defining, so they are different. These ways of defining variables are different. So var hoisting only works in var. So when I'm defining a variable, when I'm defining a variable, I don't want to talk on a functions. I wanted to touch on functions and see how it happens for function, but can I don't know. But hoisting happens actually for functions. We will do it when you're doing functions. But for now, I just want us to see hoisting for variables. It's not working. It's not advisable to reference a variable before defining it. You'll see that now when I take it back, when I have it before trying to reference it, that is having it here, and run my code, I will get the output better. The output will now be better actually, as expected. What else? I think that's all. But now the difference between var, const, and let. So var was initially in ES6 ES6 and below, ES5 and below, we only had var as the only keyword used to define variables, declare variables in JavaScript actually. Yeah, but then we find that var, it's like we use var to declare global variables. Those variables. Okay. If I explain let, you'll understand better what var is. So let is also another keyword that is used to declare variables in JavaScript. But the difference between let and var is that let is block scope. Let this let is a block scope. Like let is only visible, can only be accessed within a scope where it was defined. If it was defined in a global scope, then you can access it anywhere in your code. But when it was defined within a given scope, you can only access it within that given scope. So let is a block level. Those are block level variables. Variables that are defined using let, they are block level variables. But for var, that's actually var is the opposite of let, but sometimes it confuses. But let is very user friendly. So let is very good actually to use because it makes you okay. So the variables that are defined are only visible within a given block where you defined them. Actually, that's let. Then for const, like in other programming languages, we have constant variables. Like for instance, I have pi. So I have pi. Let me just say I have const, and this const is called pi. So this pi holds a value 3.142. So this value is a const. It's a constant variable, a variable that its value doesn't change. Like this variable, its value won't change. Pi 3.142 will remain the same during execution. Its value won't change during execution. Your value will remain a constant from the start of execution to the end of execution. That's where we use const. It's very useful when you want to have a constant variable that its value is not going to change. It's very useful at that point. Then what next? I think I've tried to explain on that and that. Moving on. So okay, moving on. Okay, that's cool. So coming down here, I think if somebody's having a question, you better do it. Oh, scope or block. Wait. Oh, people are complaining. Dan, just wait. I just wanted to demonstrate something. Anyway, Sawa. So Okay. So somebody's asking to explain the meaning of scope or block. Anyway, it's fine. A scope, a block. Okay. So block, for instance, let me just do this for the sake of explaining that, but you don't mind about it actually. In the near future, it will be a very familiar thing. You'll just get used to it. So for instance, let me just have something like, hey, I need something like, okay, I need some, okay, so I need some function like, hey, this function, let me call it, may I know? Let me call this function, may I know? So this function here, let me just use the old way of declaring function. This function, inside this function here, I have a variable defined using let and called, let me just call it know what. So this know what is given a value of, let me just give it a value of something. Then, okay, so this something, so, okay, let me return this. So let me return know what. So I will come here and do console.log, then I log that and say, may I know, I want to call may I know function. It's the function. So okay, I don't want to explain about function calling or whatever right now. It's too early. So if I run my code, I want us to notice something. Let me bring it up. It's down here. So you see, I'm getting. Let me comment out this. Let me comment out this to avoid that, and rerun. So I'm running my code. So you see, I'm getting an output like, yes, something actually. Let me make it to be more user friendly. Okay. Know what? Let me just say know something. Know something. That's, yeah, at least that. Then know something. So know something. Then again, when I try to come here, and now I try to do console.log. So I'm trying to log know what. Let me just try to log and see what's happening. Know what. So know what was, you remember know what was my variable inside that function. Then when I now want to, I'm trying to access its value outside that function that I defined. You'll notice that the function scope means where something is it's like a level, like a scope is where, okay, a scope in your English, actually scope would mean the same thing as you understand it in your English. Scope is like a level where something is found, yeah, where something is found, or where yeah, level of visibility, actually, where something is visible, just to put it like that. I think I may not have the best way to describe what a scope is. Then a block, it's like, I would say this a block, this a block. So everything that is found within this, okay, anything in programming, we do say anything that is found within, in JavaScript, but not all languages, anything that I will find within these two curly braces, the opening and the closing curly brace, are called, that's a block. That's a block, actually. That function block, that's a block. So when I run my code here, you'll notice I'm getting like an error. So you'll notice the error. So you see I'm getting an error. So it's telling me no, what is not defined. Why? Because I'm trying to access, I had said that let is a block level, it's let is used to declare block level variables. So it will okay, what? Actually, yeah, I want to be able to access that value. I won't be able to access that value. But now, for instance, let me go inside that code and do a console. So instead of return, let me just have like, hey, I want to console that. I don't want to return. Then you see what I get now, and run my code. Okay. So you see, I'm getting an output of no something. But now, for this undefined, it's happening because I don't have a return statement. So here, when I just come and say, hey, return, I just return nothing actually. I don't want to see that undefined there because I don't have a return statement, so it will be giving me undefined. Okay. Okay, let me return 0. Let me return 0. Yeah. So if actually I have to return, okay, I've returned 0 on its part U undefined. So E undefined ilikuwa inatokea juu I was not returning, like actually a function expects to return something. Otherwise, I don't know, but it expects to return something at the end of it all. Yeah, so that's also actually that's the best way I could demonstrate what a block level and a global level variable would mean. But now let me modify the code a bit and twist it to have some nonsense. Okay, let me twist this to have like, hey, guy, I wanna have this. Let's see what gonna happen here now. I wanna have that outside here and see what's happening this other side of the world. Hey, can you? But let's see what we expect. Let's see what you expect when you have such a scenario. So I'm having an error. Yeah. So let me check on that error and see what that error is saying. So it's saying that know what is so the error is here. I'm trying to console something that is within a given block. So that's why at some point I mentioned that var sometimes would be very confusing. It will be very confusing because I can have know what outside this function and know what inside this function. But sometimes you'll get that my the value of my know what will be modified on different scopes. So which are times which are sometimes okay, yeah, what I mean is this. Let me just demonstrate it here. So I want to have this instead. I want to have this outside. I want to have this outside. No, I think it's let me just say better. Actually, and do run. Wait, my time is over. Oh my God. See, you see now, it's only running that code at okay. So it only looks that code at that scope and returns that its value. But now when I don't know if it will modify it inside here. No, it won't modify. So var and scope too. But what you should know is let is a scope a block level. It's used to declare block level. It's very friendly to declare block level element. Then again, it does not allow hoisting. So when you use let, you forget about hoisting. Even when you're declaring your function expressions, if you use let, you forget about hoisting. Yeah. And so in let is where we say, in let and const, it's where we say that a variable is in dead, but after defining it, it becomes alive. Okay, not bad. Anyway, so there's something I want to add. So it just ignore functions. We're gonna dwell on them better. But for now, I think it'd be too early. I haven't done some things that I need to touch on. So let me just try to be hard to do some quick things. Somebody's complaining. Let me check. Did somebody complain again? Oh, it's fine. Okay, now moving smoothly, and I'll go and say now, hey, we have what is called array in JavaScript. We have arrays. So yeah. Array. Okay, array basically array in JavaScript is an object. So we learn now. Okay, in the near minutes, we are going to know how to check type of something or whatever. So array basically is an object. So it's some JavaScript primitive object. So basically, defining array, we can use an array literal. So defining array, the only okay, this the preferred way and the recommended way is using array literals. So I would say, hey, give me an array and call that array my array, call that array my array, and say, hey, um, basically array, it's used to store a collection of items. So array is used to store a collection of items. Mtu anaona screen yangu ama ni hii ingine ndio iko nyuma?
Iko fire.
Hello, somebody confirm unanisikia?
Iko sawa?
Hello? I might be talking alone actually. Somebody confirm. Unanisikia vizuri? It's like I'm talking alone, but I guess
Unasikika?
it's getting it.
Unasikika?
Sawa. So array. So the next thing I would say, so array. So let me just say, this array, it's used to store a collection of items. So it's used to store a collection of items. So yes. So that's my array. So array is used to store a collection of items. So items. These items actually, they don't have to be the same type. It's advisable they be those. It is advisable they be of the same type. It is advisable they be of the same type, but now you can have, it's not limited to that. Like it's not restricted that they have to be the same type, but it's advisable they be of same type for easier to work. For ease of use. Oh my God, the corona is killing me. Oh, sorry. Sorry for that. So yes, array is used to store a collection of an element, and so this is one way of defining array. Yes, so that's called this literal. So literal array. So let me just give it a name, literal. Then again, I would also say this way, which is not recommended. Let me just call it that. Then I say it's new array. New array. Yeah, so it's that. Okay, so it's using array prototype. I guess it's called array prototype with something of the sort. Anyway, yeah. So these are two ways of defining array. So you can define array in your preferred way, but the most preferred way. So this is the recommended. Let me just comment it there. So the recommended. So this is the recommended way. This is the recommended way. So coming here, so let's just add some items in our array. I can say now in my array, I have for this, I can just add items like, hey, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, close to 10. So somebody will mind, okay, so I can just go and display my array and say, can I use some methods? That will be giving people hard time. So let me say console.log. Let me just console this array. I was thinking of using something for each to display my array, but I realized, okay, it might be so early for that. But now let me just do my array. Let me do my array and console on console on my debug screen, and have it at yay. I bet I should be faster. So it displays my array items. You see, I'm getting an output of my array elements. All the elements in my array. Property of length. Just comment here that property. So array array has properties and methods. So array has properties and methods, and methods. So for properties of length, so as a property of length, then array so a length is another property. So length, basically, if you want to know the length of our array, it's very simple. You just come here. Basically, that property of length is used as it is. So you just come here and say, hey, my friend, what I need to know is my array.length. I need to know the length of my array. Okay, that is an error. So I need to know the length of my array. So it tells me, you see, I'm getting an output of 9. Somebody see my screen? Hello, Aki. I'm not sure if people are following.
Tunafuata.
Hey, so actually, array has a property called length. So basically, if I want to know, hey, how long is my array, I do have to start counting one by one, actually. But I can use the length property to know the to know my array. Yes, I can use my length property to know the length of the size of my array. Yes, actually. Then then I can also say this index of is a method. So some of the methods, so I have index of, index of. So this index of, it's used to define to check the index of an element in array. So if I want to check the index of 9, I will come here and say, actually, you go and do further research on, I will just type, so go do further research on MDN, Mozilla Developers Network. You can also use DevDocs. Actually, the resources for learning JavaScript are very rich outside here. So you can use any MDN to learn. It's very useful, actually. But DevDocs is a simplified MDN. It's user friendly. You can also check on it. So I will share the link. But now I'm just talking of index of. So let me just demonstrate. So this index of, so let me just pass like, hey, I want to know index of 5. So it's you see, I'm just seated and I'm like, hey, I want to know index of that 5, that element 5. I don't have to count. Tell me. It's telling me that index is 4. So that 4 index is 4. Actually, we can literally count. So this is how we count. What we have to notice that indexing starts from 0. Index in array start from 0. So when you start counting, you start by 0, 1, 2, and going further. So we start counting 1, just to confirm our output. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, I said 0. I start counting by 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 is at position. Is at position. What? At position 4. Yes, so index basically is the position of that array, and the length is the size of the array, actually. Length is the size of the array, then index is the position of that item or element in that array. So actually, let me mix. Oh, somebody, you can be asking about this. So in array or objects, you can have a comma at the end of your last element. So you can have a comma at the end of your last element or last whatever item, something of that kind. Yeah, it's allowed. For me, I love it. Sometimes when I just want to go and add something, it's very awesome for me, actually. I use it. So I don't know if to okay, but can I? So array has some method. Let me do push. There are so many: push, reverse, and sort. So push is to add an item at the end of the array. So push add at the end of the array. So push adds at the end of the array. Then what else? So what else? What else? What else? Pop removes. So pop is a method that is used to remove an item from an array. So for pop, we have and shift and shift. So you just check which one applies for which. Then we have reverse is to reverse array. So we can also, let's just do that. So we can say, I want reverse, so reverse. So yes, I want it. So basically, you notice it's a method. So for a method, you'll see me using a method. You'll see me using array is an object. Array itself is an object actually, but now it's this object array has methods and properties. So it has a property called reverse. So actually here it's saying reverse is to reverse an reverse the elements in array in place. So it answer instead of 1, it answers a 9. So let's see the output. I'm almost winding up. I think I've not done what was expected of me, but people, you'll have to forgive me. I'm sorry. You see now the output on my screen is starting from 9 instead of 1. So it's reversed my code actually. So it's a method. Those are one of the methods that are in array. But Mimi Pop for push, I love using ES, latest ES, I think ES 11. It's a new way of pushing into array. I'll just demonstrate it, but let me just push. Let me just push first. Anyway, hey, so let me just push something into this array. Let me push my name. No, let me push Santiago's name. So Santiago. Let me just make that array. Please permit me to do so. I missed something here. That okay. So actually it's that simple. So you see, what did I do? Sorry. So now you see it's trying to okay, what it has displayed there is the length of my array. Sorry, I was not to do it here. Let me just do it somewhere else. Let me just do it somewhere else. Yeah. Let me do it somewhere else. Yeah. Then I come and call this. So actually, the output I'm getting when I do it there, it will return the length of my array instead of array items. Yeah, there are so many things that I want to talk about, but there's no time. Oh my God. It's our. Oh no. But it's so you see, if I push, you see now will be it's. I said it's the push is used to push. It pushed the element to the last, like it checks the last index and add an item after it. You see, it's now adding Santiago. Actually, I can add a number. I can add. Anyway, sour. I can add so many, but okay. Okay, no, let me demonstrate something. How I could have done this using ES6. So not ES6, but I think it's in ES11. So I would do this, I would have done this. So I would have like that and say like, hey, I wanna, what do I want to update? What do I want to update? Let me save my array. Then I want it to have, I think it should be working. Let me have Santiago instead. Let me have Stefan. You're questioning. So yeah, I think it should be so. So you see, okay. So for my guys that are using ES11, the new like, hey, they are called new words, new recommended, easier to use. Like I don't have to write push. Like, hey, I just go tell my code like, hey, my guy, do me this. Just I need to update that array. You see, what you do, if you get that array and you run that loop, what you do if you get something similar to the condition supplied, kindly push for me something inside, then push this value. So what I have to do, these things are called tracing. So they are called, no, they, they are what? Ellipses, tracing. How do you call this? but we have tracing commas and something we'll talk in future. There's some new things, tracing comma, whatever, but it's common when defining some function that, okay, so where I first made this, or where this is common, I remember, after, apart from pushing some elements into array, when you're defining a function and you don't know the kind of, okay, the number of arguments that the function will take, you'll just give it the variable that you have at that moment and tell it, but now when these other variable or these arguments are added, kindly take them in. So basically nitasema kitu kama hii, acha tu niandike, but usijali, utajua in future. So I can say I have x and I have y, but now if those are provided, but you can also take these. Okay. You can also take, okay, let me see. No, okay, I've just learned, okay. Yeah, really? Yeah, so these ones, this is very common actually. So you will see it. It's very common. So if I define a function, I can take it. I can tell it, hey, you take x and take y, but also take those unspecified arguments that might be given. So argument, sometimes it looks like array because it's some property of length. So we will talk about, just touch lightly on that. But now, push, personally, me, up to now, I think I hate using push since I noticed, I learned of this. So this is the newest way of pushing Python, guys. See how sweet JavaScript is. You don't have to tell something to be pushed. No, you just do it without somebody's knowledge, writing to somebody like I'm pushing. Yeah, so that's that said and done. Maybe what can I do? What else? So I think that's for more on array. You can dig deeper into MDN kindly. So I'm just touching on one thing before we quit, before we leave. I'm sorry, I was not able to do what was expected. Somebody forgive me. I'm seeing you are wondering what I'm doing, but it's okay. I'm sorry. Just forgive me. Okay. Sawa. So let me just touch on this. I can't go without touching on objects. So by the way, hey, objects is very important in JavaScript. I don't know. To me, it's very important. Very important. So we also have like, hey, we have ways of defining objects in JavaScript. Also, objects have properties and methods. Okay, properties. So yeah, so the first way is literal. So I can just say, hey, give me my object. So give me my object and my object. So I think this was to be okay. I'm late. I'm out of time. So hey, this I want to define my literal. So this is a literal object. Let me just comment there. Say this literal object. So this literal object. Okay, yeah, that's that. And I can also say that my object can also be defined as can also be initialized as a nil and a half object. Yeah. Yes. So those are two ways of doing so. By the way, I didn't mention something here. For actually, let me just demonstrate that it will be in order. When if somebody would wish to use only equal, really? Oh yeah, yes, it's here. Sorry, I got it. Yeah, sorry. If somebody would wish to use this, let me just show. Some people are like, we say, hey, I want to use this. So all you have to do is like, no. All you have to add adding elements. Yeah, you have to push actually. Or you can say, I think you can also do this. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. What the heck is me? 6. So I can also console it somewhere or somehow. I have it console on the log and I say, hey, I want my array. Okay, cool. So cool for that. And now moving quickly, just let me test it. Okay, so cool. So I'm getting like, hey, it returns icona 6 elements actually. So I will have to iterate over this using for each loop to console those elements anyway, but it's okay. I can also, instead of doing this, I can also have that. Okay, can also have that and say, hi, my guy. So in my array, what you do, you do that, you do this, and while you're doing that, make sure you are doing it here. To make sure you're doing it here. Okay, yeah, make sure you're doing it there. Okay, what the heck, it's me now. Yes, basically I'm just doing the same thing. So you see now here, I'm getting it. But for the other way around, I don't know. To me, I feel it's ambiguous, but yeah, it's okay. You can also do it if you like. But to me, it's ambiguous anyway. But now for this way, it's for those guys that love using this AV. This AV actually, it's easier to use the literal one, but this is how you'd work around that again. That I just entered on it because I wanted to touch on something down here. So just before it goes off my mind, I want you to comment that. One comment here, how the next one to be, yeah. Oh, it's okay. Hey, so tuko hapa object actually. Hey, so for objects we have two things. Let me just comment like and say, hey, for object there are things that are important. We have what are called keys, and keys have values. So a value to a key must be unique actually. Is attached to a value, and a value to a key must be unique. We will have something. There are some new types in JavaScript that were brought. They are called somebody has worked with symbols. You will see them. Symbols. It's used for key. Okay, so you'll have. I know, guys. Okay, we will get to a point where you work with sets. So you weak set and weak set. So you'll know what is what actually. So some. Okay. I will be touching on so many things for now. Let me just talk of objects. But we have sets, weak sets. We also have symbols, a type called symbols. This is where it's very useful actually for guys that love the object-oriented JavaScript. We use it to private variable, private whatever. Anyway, you'll get it over there. So here, so for instance, I would say here I have a key. This key is called first name. So this key is called first name, and this first name is having a value of who is here? Hey, Vincent Letaipa. Oh, it's called Vincent now. Hey, hi Vincent, welcome. I didn't notice you around. So, sorry. So you see that keys are separated. So moving from one key to other key, they are separated using comma actually. So I can go to first name, then I wanna print ID number, things that are useful to me is what I want. So I wanna have an ID number, and that ID number I want it to be 35467. Hiyo ni ya nani? I think zimetosha, inakaa Vic. So that's okay. But now let me just comment this. I think I'm wrapping up in a few minutes, in like 3 minutes time. So I just wanna, hey, allow me to use this. Just allow me to do this, please, if you don't mind. I don't know. This, okay. Yeah. So let me just do this. Then I go do something in arrays that is very important actually. I think somebody should know it. Let me just like, hey, for just allow me to use for. So we have loops. So next time I will explain. I just want to display this items in this object actually, please, if you don't mind. I'm sorry. So just say, hey, for Okay. For val of no, val is very better. For item of for item of how do I call that object? For item of my object. Let me just copy that name. I might write it very bad. So for item of so you realize that I'm trying to introduce something new here, but you won't mind. So for that, so what do? I return items. Return item, bana. So yes, I'm returning item. So I do it and return it and say, hey guys, I need to see items on display. So yes, I'm expecting my items to be the type object is not iterable. Really? For items. Wait. Did I miss it? Oh, but actually, objects are not iterable. Oh no. It means I cannot iterate over that object. So I can't iterate over that object. I can't loop over that object actually. But I think that should give me, it will return me something. Okay, instead let me just console and do a log on it and say, hey, I want that now. So instead, I want to have this inside and say I need item. Okay, items in but for off should be working for objects, huh? Yeah, for it, it's not for him. Sorry for that. Yeah, so this just giving me the items, I mean the keys, but it's not giving me values. So actually it's not giving me values. So I can it's not giving me values. Let me just come here and console. But I needed to have it. I was not able to use for off because I was sent to loop over, but I can't iterate over that object. Object, it's iterable. It's iterable. You cannot that thing, it can't come out clearly. But let me just do this at this juncture. I think I'm on time. At this juncture, let me just do that. Let me just return that. So let me just log that on console. So you see, it brings me
I think venye ulikuwa si ulikuwa tu fiti.
Gani?
Okay, that.
For off. Yeah, I think for off should
No,
be working.
in. Then you use
Yeah,
that.
for in is but for off.
Then you use that
Yeah,
key
for off
to
should be
access the
working.
values.
Yeah. For off should be working for value for arrays. Okay. So what? Okay. Sorry. It's okay. We have dot key. We have key, which is a property, and value, which is also a property. I think it's a property for an object. So instead here, I just say value or dot key. So if I say dot key,
nope.
It's keys.
You just take your object.
I think it should be keys.
Your object.
Yeah.
Okay, Polasta.
Okay, I think it's
Polasta.
So okay,
Yeah.
I'll get that. Yeah, to get the values, but it's all the same.
Then hiyo square bracket alafu ndani unaweka key.
Okay. Sorry for that. Okay. Anyway, I need to have that.
Polasta.
Yeah.
The place
Yes,
umeandika
it's
key,
done.
weka item.
Really?
Yeah.
What am I doing? Yeah, yeah, actually, I'm trying to access what is not here. I'm trying to access what's not here actually. that
Check
would
when
still
you
be the
name
same.
object.
Yeah, I think that would still be the same, but so
No,
basically, if I
I
go
mean,
to
check
this,
when you
Rudy,
name
undo.
object yenyewe.
don't just worry. So if I have that, so I'm getting the keys to that, but values should be giving me okay. Uh, no, I think
Understand?
this. I thought this that can't work. Yeah. Yes.
Okay,
That
check
should
kwa chat, check kwa chat.
that should bring an error. But anyway, it's okay. So
Check kwa
we have
chat.
a key and value. Oh, it's fine. Let me check. But we have a key and a value. We have a key. Yeah, it's okay. It was like it was so. I've learned that it's bringing some error. Don't know, it's bringing some error. So it was so.
Nope, ulikuwa umeliname
Yeah.
object yako jina ingine.
Let me see. And let me just console. Let me just console. Let me console. Log. I didn't check that. Then I have my object. Yeah, it was so. So let me have values instead. And that.
Saa values
Master,
zimetoka
Yeah,
wapi?
that would but since how it won't do
weka
that.
keys instead of values.
It
Sorry,
won't do that
item.
anyway. So it's fine.
No, item.
It won't do that.
It
It
will
won't do
work.
that actually. Yeah. Yeah, fine. So kidogo tu. Yeah, actually, that brings me the items. So that brings me the items in array. But anyway, yeah. So even here, I would have. Ilijoin eh? Muda anaona sasa?
Si.
Steve bana. Wewe peke yako.
I can't even see it too.
Okay, let me try sharing. Ooh, my laptop, really, honestly, guy. Steve, you're seeing my laptop, my screen.
Nope. I think you can just conclude na what ya mdogo kitu kama hiyo. Hakuna screen naona.
Sawa. So okay, so let me write here in the chat. So like if I want to check some array, I'm looking at something called Steve. So that thing called Steve, I wanted to touch it on arrays, by the way. It's very essential when somebody is doing some other things. You are expecting some input from a user, and you want to check if that input are something that you expected. When that thing is there, then you proceed with the code. Otherwise, you break or you do whatever you wanted to do. So I can just take, hey, is that array having something called Stephen? Okay. Otherwise, so actually, it will be something of that sort. Something of that sort. You my screen sharing screen imekataa. Nilikuwa thought alikuwa nadhani inaonekana. So anyway, so ni kitu kaa hiyo bado haijakuja, but ni sawa. Haya tuseme iliisha hivyo, but let me just run it on my end. Oh, Steve, bado haijakuja.
Inakuja.
Sawa. So imekuja?
Yeah.
Now let me type like something. Now let me check if this array as somebody. So this is how we check. So we just do like, yes, there it is. So hey, hii kitu iko na Steve. Okay. So it's like a boolean. So let me tap that thing there and say let me just call it checker. So this checker is checking. It's checking. So I wanna see I wanna just see the output from checker and say, hey, what did you have my checker? Okay, run that code and say, okay, my checker got true or false. It's a boolean. It returns a boolean. So you see, it tells me, hey, Steve is there. But what if I say Duncan? What if I say Duncan? Duncan can't be here. What if I say Duncan? Duncan, you are not around. So actually includes, returns true or false. So actually that value is so important. So you can tap and say, hey, if it is equals to that, like use cases, inaweza kuwa kama let me just demonstrate use case. So let me say if this is the last thing I'm doing, I'm sorry. So if so I just have that. Oh, I have this. So if checker, then I'll say, okay, let me just say console.log. I'd say, hey, hello Dan. Let me just greet Dan. Hello Duncan. Hello Duncan. Else I do something else. Else I come say, hey, really no. So else all I have to do is that I log something on my console and say, you know what I want to have is you are not here, one. You are not here, one. You are not here. Anyway, you're not here. So let me just say that. Okay. Let me run that. Okay. So what do you expect actually? You see, I'm checking. You see, let me comment out that down code. down na code iko wapi? Hadi nimesahau. Oh my god, oh, ilikuwa ni okay. Well, let me have it all commented and run so that I have a clear screen. So you guys, so you check. I guess we still have people. So you check, you see, when I run, what I'm getting is false, and you're not here. So let me just do away with that false. Hiyo false inatokea wapi? Inatokea ili console log na wapi? Okay, oh yeah, so I don't want this. So let me just do away with it and just see where this, but that's very useful, include. So you see, I'll just check, hey, it's done there. So if done is there, then do that. Otherwise, don't do it, or do something else. Like I'm saying, if checkers, if Steve is here, so let me just say change this to Stephen, and say if Stephen is there, then now say, hi Stephen, we love you. Let me say, hey, hello Stephen, Stephen, I don't know, whichever how you call it. We love you. Anyway, we do for sure. So yes, yeah. So actually, so what do you expect on your end? You expect what you are seeing, Sindio? Yeah. So that's what you expect, because we can confirm that in our array we pushed a value Stephen. So Stephen was pushed into array, so it became part of our array. But now when we check if Steve is there and we get him, we can now display the code within our true part or the if section, because if only execute true, otherwise it goes and execute false. I mean the else, the false is the else, or else s, else if s, whatever, that one. Yeah. So I want to adjourn it at that point. I wish I would do more on objects actually hapa, because there are things like iko vitu kama keys, values. I wanted to say something about them. Objects is very useful for me, methods and whatever. Due to time, who's saying Victor? I didn't. Somebody's talking to me. Talk to me direct. Victor, please talk to me direct. Don't go around the corner.
Nimesema nini? Hakuna kitu mimi nimesema. Nimesema tu nimekufunza my array.includes. Hizo vitu zingine sijui.
So talk to me direct. Don't go around the corners. So actually, guys, it's actually I felt so nice presenting to you. I've enjoyed the session. However, I'm sick by the other issues sometimes. I have corona. I'm in quarantine actually, so I'm sorry. I'm just doing this because I love it, but I really enjoyed presenting. But currently I'm quarantined. Nashukuru sana. Thank you for attending. From my end, I'm so happy, excited, and I wish to see you more, because we are going to do venye tumetoka sasa kwa CSS na Java na HTML. We are going to do so many exciting things, I believe. Things are exciting hapa mbele. Najua kuna siku ya Django na kuna siku ya Flask. Web team, prepare. Kuna siku ya Django na siku ya Flask. Lakini before tuende huko, lazima tuguze Node, watu wa Python wajue hata sisi tuliwashinda kitambo. It's not about fight. It's not all about fight of languages, but I think in the near sessions we'll be doing we will touch on React, yes. Then we do some, we go back Node, we work it together, Node Express React. Yeah, at least. You know, that library React won't take long there. What wa Django, tutakuwa na siku ya Django, na siku ya Flask. So guys, we have something so many amazing things in store. Actually, just be prepared to learn, and after doing it like this, actually go to Mozilla. Let me just share that link, MDN.